Good evening.
We're back again.
Good evening, everyone. Where are all our audience gone? I can't see them in the comments.
Well, that's because we ain't got the comments up yet. Well, nobody's commented anything yet. That's
Is
because
anyone
we're actually getting less popular every week. There are people here. Look, we've got thank God for that.
Chris Wilson.
Chris Wilson, thank you for coming this evening. You are currently at our only. Oh no, we've got. Oh look at that. We've got a viewer each. We've got a viewer each.
That is an improvement. Who's got?
Is mine cute?
No, you've got Steve Grant.
I want Chris Wilson.
I already bagged Chris Wilson.
I've got Doc Green. There's another one.
Look at that. Stuart B. Is that the one and only Stuart Brown?
I think it must be.
It must be.
Good evening. Good evening. And our special guest tonight, the Lord of the Loaches. I was going to call you Lord of the Loaches. You've called yourself Lord of the Loaches.
Well, Max did it, but, you know.
Yeah. Oh, I see.
Mark, anything.
Duffill. Sir Mark, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Thank you for having me on.
Thanks for coming on.
It's a pleasure.
We need someone who actually knows what they're talking about because we're struggling.
Oh, well, you can try again next week then.
I think we're getting worse each week. You know, we're getting dumber and dumber and dumber.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well,
my IQ's gone like 30 points below what it was when I started. It's bad. It's really bad.
Because we've become YouTubers, we're vacuous.
Is that what it is?
Now. Yeah. Well, we don't have to learn anything, do anything. We just film ourselves not knowing the answer to stuff.
Yeah. Remember, like, share, and subscribe.
Yeah. Leave a comment in the comment section below.
React.
Let us know what you want to see next week.
Yeah.
We're going to be reviewing Baddis and Pea Puffers.
Yeah. Shock. They're all dead.
Oh. If we ever get up to 500 subscribers, I'm leaving. I'm not sticking around if we get popular.
We don't intend to keep you around for that long.
No.
It's not a breakaway channel, mate. No one will watch just us. It'll be fine. Oh, hang on. Chris Wilson is Nathan Hill #1 fan. There you go.
There you go.
I knew it. I didn't want to say it.
The only one.
Well, yeah. I'll take it. At my age, I'll take anything.
Yeah, we know. So it's lovely to have some people back again, which proves that we're not scaring everybody off, which is really nice. And like Jeremy said, we've got Mark Duffill in today. Mark, it's fair to say that in terms of loach husbandry, you're probably the top dog. Is that fair?
Yeah, I suppose.
I think you can big yourself up here. You're a YouTuber now. You're a sensation.
Go on then.
True.
Out of the 79 recorded species,
here we go.
Go on. Actually been spawned naturally. I've done 44 of them.
Jesus
Christ.
Get in that, man. That's 44 more loaches than I've ever bred in my life.
Me too.
That's amazing.
Although I did used to breed time loaches for fun. Don't tell anyone.
I mean, I've done obviously doing the talks and the books and trips to America and stuff. It's I
think I've got them.
Out there about them.
Yeah, and Mark.
Very cool.
Well, I'll tell you what. We're going to circle back around to loaches because this whole episode is going to be about loaches. Should we jump straight into? Well, hold on. First of all, let me just announce: Mark has kindly offered 2 of these books to the audience. So what we're going to do is, like last week, anybody who comments, you're going to get a random number. We will then pick the random number using a random number generator, and that's going to be the winner of the books. So if you do want to stand a chance of winning a pair of Loach books, leave a comment in the comment section, for Christ's sake. We will... When do we want...
Is that the comment? Is that the comment they've got to leave?
The comment that you need to leave is something complimentary about me. It can be anything.
Or just a pun on loaches, loach names. So maybe something like nice. Jennifer Loaches or something like that.
I like that, yeah. Yeah, I like that. I like that, yeah.
Loach Busters.
We can't do that one. You can't do that.
Well, I'm having Jennifer Loaches. That's mine. Put that down as a comment, and I want those books.
You've been brewing that up all week, Nate.
Coprolite.
Coprolite. Should we talk about what a coprolite is?
Fossilized turds.
So what is a scatterphage? We all know.
Poo eater.
What's the other one that eats? What's the other term for poo eating?
Coprophage.
Yeah.
Coprophage. Fecophage.
Yeah. Nathan Hillophage.
Well known. It's a medical term.
It is.
It's a diagnosis.
We've got a winner for last week's Catfishers of the World t-shirt as well. And the winner, I'll announce it now and then we shall announce it at the end, was Black Country Aquarist, who hasn't yet commented. So am I to take that he's not here?
Here. I've had a message off him. He's not able to get on tonight.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Oh, well, we'll have to message him and let him know that he's won a t-shirt, or we'll just give it someone else. No, we can't do that. He won anyway. Right, should we get straight into fish news so that gives us plenty of time to talk about loaches?
Yeah,
let's do it.
I think we should do that. Let's do that. Where are we at?
The newly discovered 12mm long fish makes a noise as loud as a pneumatic drill.
Marine researchers were out looking for sharks the other day off the Canary Islands.
A massive halibut fish weighing over 200 kilograms.
Why are you called fish?
You teach him to fish. You give him no.
Fish news.
Yeah. All right.
Oh dear. Right, fish news. Where do we want to start?
Well, at the beginning, obviously.
Well, beginning, yeah.
Last week we did it in kind of date order. I know it's only 1 week, but what was discovered at the start of last week?
So the first thing that was discovered was a new loach. So you'll like this.
Oh,
oh, what a surprise!
Well, not discovered, but described.
Described.
And its name is Paranemichelus nongangensis, and it's from the Pearl River system of China. So what do we think of that?
Probably I would say of the next few months, I know a couple of the lads I've been talking to, there's going to be potentially quite a few species found or described from China. It's
why is that?
I think with a couple of them, they're just reaching places that they've struggled to reach in the past. But I think in the last few years, there's been a lot of things put in place, especially with the Yangtze. They've put a lot of things in place to actually clean the rivers up, and the species count in the Yangtze, is literally doubled. I think in the last decade.
Yeah.
So obviously, if the main river's clearing up, obviously the tributaries, the smaller rivers feeding it, are going to be hopefully getting cleaner, and basically there's more fish turned up, possibly fish that were on the edge of extinction that are now basically able to survive, spawn, and hopefully now get found and named and that. So yeah,
it's quite exciting really for China, because we've got a cyprinid as well, also described from China this week. It was Cyclocheilus pingchowensis. But as I've told you guys, I've got my own theories for all this Chinese nonsense going on, and I think Donald Trump's to blame. I don't know if you saw his press conference this week.
Go on, Max.
Like this. Go on, Max. Let's have it.
We can't stop finding new cyprinids in China. It's huge.
It's a mute button in time. I didn't get to the button.
Oh, that is brilliant.
So yeah, we're going to see lots more, aren't we? And there's going to be massive tariffs on them, and they're going to be absolutely huge.
Huge.
It's going to be great.
Huge.
The other thing that we're getting loads of out of China are the blind cave fish as well, including lots of cyprinids. Every new blind cave fish is from China, seemingly, or at least that kind of part of the world.
Are they doing something to their eyes?
There was one actually found. I think it was last week. That's actually been classified as a cave-dwelling loach, but it's not blind.
Oh, okay.
It actually does have eyes, but it's been designated as a cave-dwelling loach. Lives totally in the dark, but has eyes.
So
Like
is it on its way to becoming blind? Do we think? Is there,
possibly? I mean, it could be that stage of evolution, but it's interesting looking fish anyway. It doesn't seem to have the big humpy heads and lumps and bumps that the other ones have. So.
Maybe it's fairly early on, and it's only, like, relatively speaking, recently started living in caves, or it
was just going in the cave just to get away from people. Maybe
Yeah, maybe so. I do that.
Hibernating.
yeah, maybe so. What else did we have? This is one I really like. I've not got pictures of this, but there's a new darter species, little darter perch from
What, Carasidium?
No, the North American ones.
Oh, sorry, North America. Okay,
Teostoma type jobbies. So we've got Alohistium anas, which is a new species from Tennessee, and it's from the Duck River system. And I love this because the genus name Anas, the species name, Anas, is the genus name for mallards, Anas, which would be Anas platyrhynchos, and it's from the Duck River system. So they've
cool.
How cool
Makes
is that?
sense.
So I like that little bit of etymology there.
Yeah,
I was quite happy with that. And then lastly, I've got a picture for this one.
Oh, hooray! We don't have to imagine it.
And the only reason I've got a picture for this one is because I think it holds a decent value as an aquarium fish. It's Mies Aphiosemion isiare from Equatorial Guinea, and it's a lovely little killifish.
Okay, looks a lot like a Gardneri to me, but
it does.
I like.
It's got mileage.
Could you sell that in the shop?
Oh hell yeah, all day, every day.
Yeah, I think it's a lovely fish, that. But then, which West African killifish isn't a lovely fish? Let's be honest. They're all pretty cool.
They're all lovely. I wish I could specialise. Mark, you're a specialist, but I can't seem to just drill down and focus on one thing. I get distracted by other fish from other families, but something like killies, because it's they're all small. I just feel like I could do a lot of them in a small space.
Yeah,
it's very kind of low tech, and I love all that, but I just can't. I think I must have a short attention span or something. I don't know.
You've just got ADHD.
Yeah,
probably. Basically,
yeah,
it's obvious. I
want to put a twist on that. Mark, I'm not saying you're old here, so please don't think I'm saying you're old. Nathan's old.
I am. All right.
I find that a lot of the old school keepers tend to specialise more than the new school keepers. And I don't know if that's down to perhaps back in the day, maybe it was harder to alter water. It was harder to get knowledge on different fish. So if you found something you were good at, you stuck at it. Is that fair to say, or am I miles off there?
Well, for me, it was in the early days. I was showing a lot. So I mean, I would literally try and have a fish for more or less every class, and I could.
Okay.
And I did. Then I stopped showing, and I went into the judging. So I started keeping stuff that I liked at the time. So I had like a tank full of rainbows, Malawi tank, discus tank, mixed South American community tank, stuff like that. And to be honest, if it didn't have loaches or rasboras in, I just got bored with it. I stripped it down and reset another tank up. And it was only then that I realised it was the loaches that I just came back to every single time. So that's when I decided, after stopping judging as well, I just basically decided to specialise in loaches. So I think it was probably starting to get, there was more and more loaches starting to become available then as well, which helped. Before that, there wasn't a lot of loaches available. So you had like the Sydney Monkeye, the Cooley loaches, clowns, skunks, and a great deal. Rod, especially in. Once it started coming through in numbers and different species, it made life easier to specialise in them and get lots of different species.
Do you get into like certain genera? I quite like finding small genera where I can try and get hold of every species, like say Tanixis or something like that. You know, something really, really small, 4 or 5 species, because then I can try and get all of them, and there's a little bit of a hunt going on then to try and get all of them, and then
like
I can keep
Pokemon.
them. Exactly, and then I can watch them and I can observe them and I can go, right, you do that, you eat like that, you're more aggressive than you prefer that temperature, you spawn like that, and that is the.
I do. I mean, I think I've got all but one of the Micronemachilius group, but I just like all the loaches. I can't sort of stay with one group. At the moment, I'm trying to set up more tanks for Hillstream loaches.
Yep.
So at the moment I've got 3 species of Soelia, Labigastromyzon, Gastromyzon, Anemia, possibly another one in there, I don't know. But I'm trying to get more different Soelias, but that's the Anemia normani, which I'm really focusing, trying to get these to breed. I was lucky enough just to find a guy selling out of his garage. He bought some fish and he had a tank full of these. It's like, so I went up and he bagged me 6 up, and anyway, I managed to talk him into give me the rest of them, and so I got the lot.
Hillstream loaches are fascinating, aren't they? I love, you know, the specialisms in them, but they're kind of again, that's a really cool kind of area to focus on. I think there's probably so much we don't know about them.
Well, interesting with these as well is the one of the few fish, along with the Crossochelius species, that actually eat cyanobacteria.
Wow.
Really? Oh, wow.
And they will actually hunt it down. What I used to do is I had a couple of tanks that used to forever get blooms of cyanobacteria in, and you know that thing where you go in there, you move the lid, and you can just smell it straight away.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if it was on like a plastic plant, a rock, or something like that, I'd just take it out, dump it in a tank with the Crossochelius in, and they'd literally have it cleaned in a day, no problem. But
how can they be into that though? Because it's meant to be slightly toxic, isn't it? Maybe it's their thing.
They absolutely love it, especially the Crossochelius reticulatus. They absolutely love the stuff. But I checked with these. I put a pebble in one of the other tanks, and I thought I'll just drop it in right in the front corner, and within, I would say, 30 seconds, there must have been half of the group were literally scuffling over this pebble to actually get to start grazing the cyanobacteria off it.
Top tip.
So they do really like it.
Yeah. Mark, there's a question here. Does that have a sucker or use fins to pin itself down?
So basically, this is classed as the lizard loach type. So it's the long body with the big pectoral fins. So they use the fins to pin themselves down. Whereas the Soelias, Gastromyzons, they use purely like the basically by the time the body shape hunkers down
like
in
a
the
vacuum.
Floor, the fins basically then cause like a suction effect. Whereas these, it's just purely the fins just hold them down.
Yeah, it's That's really cool. Just on this one, a quick question. I suppose it's quite a vague question, I guess. When you see these sorts of fish in the shops for sale, vast majority of people that go in think it's going to be a cleaner fish, right? That's just going to clean your tank of algae. And you've obviously just mentioned cyanobacteria, but generally speaking, if you were to keep Anamia or Vanamania? Vanamania. That's the one. Yeah. What's the sort of diet that you'd want to feed these guys?
Lots of I feed lots of insect food and quite a lot of spirulina. Especially like pure spirulina powder mixed with some tank water, make it into a paste, and just drop the little pellets in, and they'll eat that. But Ebo food do a really, really good spirulina paste as well, which you can literally just get a little ball out of it, press it, drop it, like flatten it into a disc and drop it in, and it breaks up quite easily. And these will just munch away on that for hours on end. It's they do really enjoy it.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe spirulina is a form of cyanobacteria.
Yes.
Is it really?
It's supposed to be like a non-toxic form of but yeah, like I say, these and the Crostachelius actually do go for the full blown blue-green algae. So yeah,
Cool.
That's pretty cool. Another question for you there, Mark. How do you distinguish gastromyzontids from balitorids? There's lizard and UFO forms in both.
Yeah, because basically if you actually look, if I remember rightly, this is where I get wrong. Even with the longer bodied in the gastromyzontids, which is you're looking at like the pseudogastromyzon, stuff like that, the pectoral fins will still meet with the pelvic fins.
Right, okay.
So you still get that like fin, body shape.
Like a stingray sort of thing.
Yeah. Whereas with the lizard types like this, you can actually see there's a definite space in between the pectorals and the pelvics.
Yeah, we've got a picture of gastromyzon, haven't we? Let's stick that one on so we can look at that there.
Yeah. So basically, you see the back end of the pectoral fin actually meets the front end of the pelvic fin. Soelia, they actually overlap. A couple of the other gastromyzons they overlap, and then the pseudogastromyzon, slightly longer body, but there is a they do touch, whereas with the like homolopterids and that they don't, the balatorids.
Okay.
Just a quick question on these hillstream loaches. Is there a risk of overcollection? Are they mainly wild caught, the ones that we get in the shops, or are they mostly bred?
Majority of them are still wild caught. There is. I was out in America, end of 2024, and just as I got there was a new species found, and it was the gastromyzon species blue tiger or something like that. And the weird thing was, there was no pictures of the fish in a river, a natural setting.
Yeah.
Nothing. There was just pictures of all these fish in a tank in a big net, net contraption, and they were all identical size. There was no little ones, big ones. For me, it looked weird, and there was a couple of people at the time had said, this looks like somebody has used hormones or whatever, and this is potentially a man-made species,
and potentially a hybrid? Question mark.
Potentially hybrid. Now I've kept quite a few gastromyzon species together, and I have never actually seen any hybridization. I kept Stenocephalus, Stellatus, Scytulus, which is very similar to the Stenocephalus, apart from it doesn't have the blue on the dorsal fin, and Lepidogasta. And they all spawned, and I never saw any sign of any hybridization. That because as the fry developed, they were definitely true to the parents. And I know another guy in America. He's actually spawned. I think he had about 4 species in his tank, and he eventually got babies, and the youngsters looked weird. I mean, for a baby that was probably a centimeter long, it had like 6-7 millimeter whiskers.
What?
Wow! It looked like a catfish, and it turns out that they were the juvenile Gastromyzon viriosus. As a centimeter long baby, they have these huge whiskers, which eventually just shrink. And
what's all that about then? Are they eating kind of more zooplankton as juveniles?
Or is it more mimicry?
Mainly on like the
mimicry,
like the microorganisms on the rocks and stuff like that. See, I think this is where a lot of the shops get it, where they say, "All right, these are an algae eater."
Yeah,
they're not an algae eater. They are grazing the algae for the
animals.
And
the alfwucks.
Alfwucks.
Taking algae as you see it. as they take it. But if you actually look at a tank that's full of these, you'll see all these like little lip marks going along the tank, but they don't clean the glass. They just leave little marks,
just raking it,
scraping it and chewing it. Yeah. So that's one of my bugbears where you see us saying, "Oh, we've got these amazing algae eaters for your tank." It's, they're not, but yeah.
Just on the subject of Aufwuchs, it's a German word, I believe.
Yeah.
The Germans are good at creating a word for something, aren't they?
Yes.
Well, what is
a couple of years ago at CSG, I went in and I actually found out the German word for loaches, which I absolutely love. I think it's better than loaches. It is Schmerlen.
Love it.
Schmerlen.
Love it.
It's
Great name.
So that's when I did my fish room. I actually named it Die Schmerlenholer, so it's the loach cave.
Because
it's just it just sounds so much better than loach. Schmerlen.
I like that.
Yeah.
I'm going to pull up a definition for Aufwuchs really quickly.
Yeah.
And I'm going to find
out. Aufwuchs is basically microorganisms that live within the algae.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. The Germans come up with some great words. Absolutely great words.
What is the literal translation for it though? Is that?
Don't know.
Aufwuchs. German for this is according to AI, so it could be a load of tosh, and it probably is.
Christ's sake.
Aufwuchs, German for surface growth, refers to the collections of small algae, cyanobacteria, heterotrophic microbes, and tiny invertebrates that adhere to submerged surfaces in aquatic ecosystems such as rocks, plants, and driftwood.
Surface growth. That's what I wanted to know.
Surface
surface growth. Cool.
It's just the stuff that grows on stuff.
Yeah.
That's all.
It's interesting that it actually does list cyanobacteria among.
Yeah, that's cool. I love German words.
And like you were just saying, it's not just the critters, it's not just the zooplankton, it's the biofilms as well. Cyano being one of them. You know, biofilms are a big deal, aren't they?
While we're on German words, here's one for you, Max. Have you heard of Schreckstoff? That's a German term.
Schreckstoff.
Yeah, and I'll pass it to the panel if anyone knows what Schreckstoff is. This came up without googling it.
Big green men.
No, it's not. So Schreckstoff was discovered by again German biologists, and it is an alarm signal that is released when a fish is bitten. So so Schreckstoff. So if you've got things like guppies and a predator comes up and just bites a guppy in half, that releases Schreckstoff, so literally like fear stuff into the water that alerts all the other fish that something bad's going to happen. There's a predator there, something's tearing guppies apart, and they'll start to flee. It's the same with them. I think they discovered it initially. It was also discovered with types of sharks as well. Sharks release Schreckstoff. So if you get like a great white that has a bite taken out of it, what they've recorded is that all the other sharks within like 30 or 40 miles just flee that area. They're like, there's something big enough here to take out a great white. We're getting the hell out of Dodge. Yeah. So Schreckstoff.
I'll put that in. What's that? Shrek. Yeah, I like that. That's something I've learned today. I'll take that away.
Okay, back to the loaches and the questions. There's lots of comments and questions. Here we go. Let's have a look.
I know it's Chris. Is it Chris Doc Green put on? He's got Gerhard Ott's book. Well, Gerhard Ott was like the first person to spawn the Anemia normani.
Oh, okay.
He tried for a long, long time, and then basically just left them to it, and they spawned, and he had absolutely hundreds of them.
Should we talk about breeding loaches, or should we leave it till later on in the session? Who wants to?
We haven't finished news yet.
We have finished. Unless you've got. Have you got some news, Nathan?
Have I got some news? No, I've got no news. No news is good news.
Has anybody else got? Has anybody in the comments got news?
Nothing regarding AI fish, Nathan.
Just AI nonsense.
AI nonsense.
I've got a question regarding last week's news with wildwoods, and this ties in nicely because we used to cover a lot of loaches and new species, especially Asian ones that were coming into wildwoods. I saw quite a few people were going down there, and they're selling like their pond vats off and everything, which is often a cool thing as well when you get like tank rats and stuff, and just random bits. So there's a few people gone down there. I wish I'd have gone down there. I'm probably going to be too late, but yeah, they were a bit of a loach haven back in the day.
Yeah, I've had a lot of species from Wildwoods.
Yeah,
yeah. It's going to be interesting to see where Keith goes if he is in the trade. It'll be interesting to see where he goes and whether he's going to keep on bringing some nice fish in.
Yeah,
he was there a long time, and brilliantly, when World of Water took it over, he famously wouldn't tell them where he was getting these fish from.
Good man.
They were like, right, we've bought you, we've got the keys. Now tell us where you're getting the fish from. He's like, nah.
Yeah. What is that?
Yeah.
Just a quick one. If there's anybody from the NSPCC in the comments, could I report a couple of _fish? I don't know what they're doing with their children, but they've just put a comment in. I'm bad at raising babies.
I see. Yes.
Yeah, you've got to breastfeed them for a while. Can't go straight onto beer. Doesn't work.
That's where they went wrong with you, Nathan.
Yep. Well, they got the teat right, so yeah, just filled it with stout and ale. Work wonders.
Oh dear. Well, we've got past news. We're talking a bit about loaches already. This is going nicely. Has anybody got any questions about loaches that they want to bring in before we let Mark ramble about loaches?
There were some further up that we've probably ignored. Not ignored, but yeah.
We definitely ignored them.
Here's one. Mark, what do you know about breeding the gold line panda loach from China? I have 10 for 1 year and want to do a setup.
Basically, lots of sand, lots of rocks, and best thing with them is just leave them to it. But I've found with pandas, especially, keep cherry shrimp with them.
Okay. Go on.
As the adults get older, the adults actually will eat the newly hatched shrimp. And I found that mine always spawned better when they had the shrimp there as live food.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then basically they start popping babies out. But I know a couple of people, even in the UK, that have actually kept them outside over the summer and just let the water go green, the tank go green, and basically that's when they've started spawning. So they do require a lot of biofilm to feed on all the time.
Mark, if I could interject there, please. Is it Yauchania pachychilus? Is it?
Yes. Yes.
It looks like a rheophilic fish. It looks like something that would live in fast flowing water, right?
Well, it is, but I spoke to a guy, it was a couple of years ago, and he was actually collecting in China. And he said it was weird because they were going through this jungle and they came across a stream. And he said he couldn't believe it. I mean, there was trees over the stream, so it was fairly shaded. But obviously there was birds there that would be, picking off fish. But the base of the river was a sandy colour, and then there was these great big slabs of black rock.
Right.
And the black rock was actually covered in these black and white panda loaches.
Huh.
Not a single adult in sight, just fry. The adults all stayed on the sand because obviously once they start growing, their pattern totally changes.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful.
But he said it was weird, the fact that the camouflaged adults were on the sand.
Yeah.
But the black and white babies were just all over these jet black rocks.
I love that.
That's cool.
Nothing was bothering them at all.
And what was it? Fast flowing water there, or
it was? I wouldn't have said fast flowing.
Yeah.
But I mean, it obviously had flow to it. But
yeah.
Not what you would get like the gastromyzons and stuff like that.
Yeah. That's brilliant. That's a lovely little bit of info there, isn't it?
I
guess that black and white colour, it's like we were talking about with Steve last week, it breaks up the pattern.
Yeah. And I think that's the same with if you look at a lot of the Soelia, the gastromyzons and that, when the fry are totally different to the adults. And the amount of people that have basically said, "Oh, I've got Cory fry," and it's like, "No, you've got Soelia in your tank." Oh yeah, and that's what they are. And to see a baby hillstream loach, they are nothing like the adults. But even facially wise and everything, they just look like small, like corries or something like that. And it takes ages for the body to form, to shape, to take shape, and then the colour to come in.
I've got an interesting anecdote for you. Years ago, one of my customers had fancy goldfish in Hillstream Loach, and they said they'd bred the Hillstream Loach. I said, congratulations. They were really chuffed. I went to their house to see them, and they were arguless swimming around. hundreds and hundreds. There were that many argulus. Nice. They were free swimming, and they were covering, covering these big arandas. And you should have seen their faces. I said, I'm very sorry. They're not Hillstream Loach. They're a parasite. There we go.
Oof, that's rough.
So, are we still doing Loach questions for Mark?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I want to hit him with one. Mark, the clown loach, Chromobotia macrocantha. What's the biggest recorded size? How big do those things actually get?
I've heard reports of about 14.5, 15 inch.
Jesus. That's a unit. Hey.
Oh, there's one there.
That's
a unit.
That's a good one.
Did any of you see the ones that Pia got in?
Yeah.
Wow.
Right. Can anyone clear this up? Because when I worked in import and wholesale, one of the suppliers in one of the countries said it's illegal to export clown loach over a certain size. Has anyone ever heard of that?
Brought in a few years ago, yeah.
Is it illegal to export them, or is it illegal to collect them?
And I'm not even sure about the word illegal. Probably, I'm not trying to incriminate anyone.
If I remember rightly, I was told that they'd put a ban on anything over. Was it anything over something like 8 inch or something like that, 7, 8 inch?
Yeah.
And then they could ship the small ones up to like 2 inches, but anything over that, you paid a premium per inch of fish. So basically, it just made getting bigger clown loaches more and more expensive.
So it wasn't illegal, but there was things put in place to.
There was basically it was banned because of it was basically like Trump and his tariffs, really.
Right. Yeah.
It was just basically it was going to be too expensive to do.
Yeah, those ones that Pia had were monsters. They
Huge.
were. I don't know if you saw them, Mark. I saw them being fed when I was there once, and they were feeding them like full size mussels. They were taking them in one gulp.
Yeah,
they were absolute. Yeah. I'm not joking. They must have, like you said. What was the largest that you'd heard of, Mark?
About 14 now, 15 inch.
Yeah, I think they probably blew that out of the water. They filled the width of a 2-foot tank. They were absolute monsters, like nothing you've ever seen before.
I saw some. How many countries do they occur in, Mark? Because I saw some whoppers when I went to China, and I went to a fish show, and they were very much more slender and angular than that big fat fish, unless that's just a female.
Could well be a female, because you find that the female will be, especially if you have a group. I mean, I have a group of, I think it's about 35 in my 1,000-litre tank.
Yeah.
And the big female is the alpha of the group, and then the biggest male is the beta of the group, and then basically everybody else just follows along. But yeah, the bigger fish always tend to be the females, the matriarchal fish.
Yeah.
So yeah, there'll always be that bit bigger, bit chunkier and stuff like that. Whereas the males can have slightly more straighter body shape sort of thing, because they're not as bulky as the females.
And what's the deal with them shadowing each other? Because I've seen clown loach before where you've had big clown loach and small clown loach together, and the small ones effectively just hug the side of the large ones and sort of shadow them, follow them round. Is there anything behind that?
I think it's a safety thing, but also from what I've noticed with mine, it used to always be just the little ones absolutely tormenting the hell out of the bigger ones.
Oh, okay.
Because they would do it so much that the big one would eventually go and literally wedge itself in a crevice or something so small that the little ones couldn't get in. And once they'd gone, it would come back out again.
That's bizarre.
Let's say whether it's something to do with they feel safer because they're with a bigger fish, or whether it's just it's like you see lion cubs going up to the lion and just giving him a whack, giving him a bite and all this until he turns around and tells them to sod off and has something else to do. But yeah, certainly from my fish, I would say it's it's a sort of
It's childhood bullying.
yeah, basically it's the kids bullying the dad sort of thing. You know, it's just
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm going to guess
felt
as well that if we draw parallels with, like, say, British river fish and something like a barbel, the larger fish are always way more skittish, deeper water, you know, and yet the smaller fish are always first to the food, a bit more naive, you know, and kind of shallow water. And so, given even more room, perhaps the large fish wouldn't be hanging about with the small fish anyway.
Quite possibly, yeah.
I know the same happens with piranhas, doesn't it? We find a group of piranhas in the world, the biggest ones are always slap bang in the middle, and they just get progressively smaller towards the outskirts, the risk takers. Cool.
Fascinating. Dare we ask, have you seen any spawning of them, Mark?
I've heard a couple of anecdotal accounts of spawns over the years. I think probably there was a very famous one, late 80s, I think. Granville Hammond, I think it was. But it was a bit, you know, he never found the photographs, things like that. I don't know.
Was that the one where he said they ate his giant danios?
That's the one. The 80s giant danios, the spawn. There was babies everywhere, but he moved house like 3 times and couldn't find the photographs because we were in the back of the garage. So
I spawned great white sharks last year, actually.
Oh, I did hammerhead.
Did you?
So,
I lost the pictures.
Yeah. So there's been reports of a place in Germany. I won't name names. They were supposed to have got some wild young fish, raised them up, spawned them. I asked them some questions with regards to the spawning. You know, was it natural? Was it hormone induced? And they basically didn't reply to me. So I sent them another email asking very politely, and I got blocked. So it's like, okay. I made my own conclusions. Anyway, I was talking to a guy last year from Asia, and he said, oh, yes. He said, I know this one, and he told me who it was. I said, oh, yeah. He said, yes. He said, we supplied them with them fish. He said, no, that wasn't natural. It's like, oh, fair enough. I think the closest one in the UK to it was Colin Dunlop.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
Oh,
He actually got eggs. But because he moved them out of the big tank he had them in, it was a smaller tank, used hydrogen peroxide to bring the pH. I think his pH was down something like 4 pH or 4.5 or something like that. And basically they continued to spawn, but all the eggs were infertile, unfortunately. But yeah, I think Colin's probably been the closest.
We got another Canadian spawn in the 1970s.
Do you think, though, Mark, they have ever released just a few eggs, or is it feasible that large clown loach, even in a community tank, you know, it's just not getting noticed? Is it feasible at all, do you think? Because that sooner or later, if they're that gravid, you know, if it's like a goldfish or a koi, they're just going to get brushed out, aren't they? You know, if it just squeezes up against something, they're going to come out.
To my knowledge, especially with yo-yos and things like that, the smaller boated species. I was discussing with a guy a few years ago, and they had they'd done experiments, and it was actually they'd done it with using hormones to see how by giving the hormones to see how it differentiated the amount of eggs that they produced. And it was like, right, okay. And basically they had some females just eject all the eggs to the point where obviously whatever was in the tank would have eaten them anyway. But some females just naturally decreased in size. And then after a couple of months started filling up again. So it's feasible that actually the females do reabsorb the eggs if they're not going to lay them.
Oh, okay.
Actually reabsorb them retake in the protein, and then leave it a while, and then go again. So there is potential there for them to actually never actually get heavy with eggs every 2, 3, 4 months, but never actually lay an egg in their life.
Right.
Which again, is
that
weird,
makes
you know?
things tricky. That makes things tricky.
Am I
Okay,
right in saying
cool.
that the hormone of choice is still pituitary extract? Is that what they're still using?
I think so. Yes, I do. Somebody did when I was doing one of my talks in America. One of the guys did say, "Have you tried this?" And I think that's
pituitary extract. Yeah. Okay.
Because I had a lady contact me while I was over there. Just before I went out, and she was like, "Have you bred this? Have you bred that?" I said, "Oh yes, I've bred both of those." And when I went out, I was talking with Eric Bodrock and a couple of other people, and basically that's what this woman had bred these species, and that's what she'd been using, the pituitary extract to spawn all the fish, and she was spawning all sorts. And they all thought she was just this amazing fish keeper, but she was actually using
just injecting,
injecting or just putting it in the water or whatever she was doing with it. Yeah.
There's something we can explore when we do the ethics talk at a later date.
Yeah.
The use of pituitary extract, because how they harvest that stuff, it's literally like bits of carp brain in a centrifuge, spin it round until you've got the pituitary extracts, and then whip that out and inject it into things. So every time you get a successful breed from pituitary, it's hundreds of carp being literally minced up and put into a centrifuge.
Yeah.
What's the Nath? What's the one? The Sparsholt lads used to tell me that you've got to grind the testicles or something to breed cynos or something like that. Is there something that they do to? Have you heard?
No,
No,
no. You might be conflating that with the Pangasianodon.
Go on, you know it.
If you remember, they were trying to do the breeding of. I don't even know if it's the right taxonomic name anymore. Pangasianodon gigas, the giant Mekong cat.
Yeah.
And so, in order to, because they couldn't get them to do it naturally, they couldn't get them to release on their own. So what they did was the females had a lovely time. They basically just got this like gentle massage, and eventually they were encouraged to release the eggs out. But for the males, they literally had to like punch them in the gonads. They're just like smacking and smacking and smacking until they released the gametes. So yeah, it wasn't a gentle sort of massage or stroke out. It was literally smacking these Pangasianodons and getting them to release the milk.
Wow.
I don't know if that's what we were talking about, because I think they tried to do something similar with Clarius for a bit for the farming, but they just found out the pituitary was quicker and easier.
Yeah. I love this comment from Chris Wilson here. I remember Nathan saying to me a while ago about running features about fish that haven't been bred, and they'd have people writing in saying they'd been breeding them in a shed in Dorset for years. That absolutely sums up the fish club scene. You know, there'll be some guy at the back of every fish club that never says a word, and he'll have been breeding something that went extinct 10 years ago. And they just, and nobody ever, you know, sometimes you've got to be a bit arrogant and big yourself up with these things. I love that anecdote there. Really, really classic there. What else have we got? Gigas are bred like salmon, I believe. Okay.
Hand stripped.
Yeah.
The punching of the gonads to strip them out. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. That makes sense. Catfish BDSM.
Yeah. Brilliant. I mean, I did try and get that job, but they weren't hiring at the time. In fact, I turned up in full leather gear for a fish breeding job.
Were you wearing like stilettos as well?
Well, the interview was hard because I still had the gimp mask on and the metal apple in.
So, I couldn't really hear what you were saying.
It was the pink furry jacket that did it, Nathan.
It was. It was exactly that. Rocking up in my pimpmobile on hydraulics. Oh dear.
Right, let's look at some more pictures. What have we got in here, Mark? Tell us about this. What's going on here?
This is my Sidney Monkeye spawning tank.
Ooh, go on.
And I've had, I think this is my 4th group that I've set up, and basically got spawning. And one thing I worked out quite early on with Tfwn is, unlike other loaches that require a decent footprint of tank, so you lengthen width, Tfwn prefer depth.
Oh,
And every
okay.
time I put them in 18-inch to 2-foot deep tanks, I've ended up getting the group to spawn. And I was talking to a guy months ago, and he was asking me about Tfwn because I think he'd managed to pick up some at a shop that was closing down. And he said he had them in I think it was in a 2B1B1 or something like that. It was only a small tank, quarantine and that. And he said, they're happy enough as a group, but what do I do? I said, well, if you've got a tank that's at least 2 foot deep, get them in that, and you'll notice a difference. And he messaged me back. He said, and they are totally different fish.
Right.
He said totally different fish. He said in the quarantine tank, they had some rasboras in and some danios in, and they were chasing them, they were following them all the time, just pestering the dither fish. But once they got that depth, even though the dither fish was still exactly the same dither fish, swimming at exactly the same depths, basically they never bothered them, and they're literally just up and down the water column all the time. And it definitely does make an absolute massive difference to these, having that depth of water.
That's cool.
What else have you got going in that tank there,
that.
Mark? Talk us through what you're keeping in there.
In that tank, there's a couple of Crossochelius langai, just to keep the black beard algae down. There's some tiny cherry barbs in there. The harlequin rasboras. I think there's a rainbow there. I can see
a rainbow fish.
Yeah, and possibly a danio in there. I don't know, but there won't be much more.
Have the plants got anything to do with the breeding effort going on in there, if any?
I think if the plants are just the act as cover for the fry, but not so much for the spawning. And what I've seen with these is they'll basically come up into the water, and you'll have the main female, the main male, and they'll come up into the water, belly to belly, and they just swim into the floor, and that's when they release the eggs.
Right, okay.
And the eggs just go, and basically all the Tfwn following are either trying to spawn as well or eating the eggs. They're going sort of like, they're in two minds. Do we continue and try and spawn, or do we go back and eat the eggs?
Yeah.
So what I do is all my tanks, so the flow comes from whichever back corner. So on that tank, the flow comes from the back corner to the front, and then as the flow pushes down and underneath, obviously the eggs get pushed into the rocks and into the vegetation.
Oh, nice.
Hopefully away from the adults, and obviously that's where the rainbows aren't essential, no.
But advised.
Oh,
Well,
I thought that was the missing link then.
No, this is what I have played around with quite a few of my fish. I have a theory that if you can match the fish, so if you match the loach with a dither fish that they would naturally encounter in the wild, if that dither fish is constantly spawning, so if you've got likes of the harlequins in there are constantly spawning under the leaves of the Anubias, danios in some of the tanks, whichever species I put in, if they're constantly spawning, are they releasing their own hormones into the water, which then kicks off the loaches, but also then there's eggs and there's food, and the loaches know there's an excess of food and stuff there to feed. So I always try and match the loach with something it would encounter in the wild. And it does tend to work. I mean, I've even kept sumo loaches with endlers.
Yeah.
And the endlers, no problem. There was always a handful of baby endlers in the tank, but never any more than that. Yeah. Took them out, swapped them over with, I think it was Daniel Kyathit.
They
started spawning, and within 6 months, I had baby Schistura baltita dotting about the front of the tank.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
I think that pheromones have got a lot to play in breeding. I used to breed cichlids on centralized systems, and one pair would go, and they'd all go regardless of how closely related they were. It was fry time, and there's got to be some kind of thing in the water, the smell or the hormones or whatever, and they all just went. So I think there's a lot to be said for that.
Yeah,
that's interesting. You should mention that, actually, Jez. So when I had a store, I had two separate systems running off two completely different modes of filtration. There was what you'll remember the system. So one side was a bubble bead system, UVs, wet dry tower, etc., etc. There was loads of breeding taking place on that one, but on the other side, I'd broken the mold a bit. I had a big ozone reactor.
Yeah.
On that side, there was no breeding taking place on that side, and there was never any triggering. And I wonder if the ozone was potentially just wiping out any kind of pheromonal hormone that was going through it, because that ozonizer was brutal. It was.
I've heard that actually with koi breeders.
Okay.
That basically they've I know a couple of lads. I was talking. Where was he? It was actually a place down south that we visited, and he'd actually been spawning his koi for years, and the year before he'd had something wrong with his pond, and he put in two big ozone things, and
the big redox reactors,
and basically they stopped spawning. So it's something it's killing something in the water, or clearing something out.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Pheromones out.
So with the monkey eggs, are they adhesive, or do they just literally just drop and roll? Do they stick, or
no? Just drop, and then basically they just end up wherever the flow takes.
Okay.
And then usually I'm in the middle of a water change when I spot this little black and white thing come poking its head out the rocks, and I'm sat watching that, then thinking there's water trickling somewhere, and it's usually the bucket overflowing. So
on that. Mark, have you managed to spawn any of the Homoloterra?
Yes, Confusona and Orthogoniata.
Okay. And just out of interest, are the fry like the Gastromyzon in that they are absolutely nothing like the adults?
If I remember rightly, the Confusona were almost totally brown, and it took quite a long time for the actual redness to start. The redness and the saddle markings to start showing. Shape-wise, they are very similar, but obviously miniature. But colour-wise, they do. Okay. They did change quite a bit.
It's quite interesting. Yeah. Okay. Right. Next image. Let's ask you about this one. Talk to us about what's going on here.
Misogynus anguillicaudatus, otherwise known as the weather loach or the dojo loach. This was the first time I spawned them, and you would never believe it, but in that tank there are actually 13 babies in that tank, and I only actually managed to get a picture with one sat still.
Wow. Yeah, that's
wow.
How big were the adults here, out of interest? Give us some sort of scale.
About 7.5 inches, something like that.
Wow, yeah, good size.
So they weren't massively bodied. Like, I mean, some of the ones I have at the moment about 12-inch, and they're like nearly 2.5 inches deep in body.
Christ.
These weren't, but they spawned. I think they spawned 3 times in total. But I had the end of the tank. I had so it was a weir where the water went over into all the rocks, and then it filled back halfway up, and then got pumped back into the main tank, and the eggs got carried over into the rocks away from the adults, and that's where the fry were. Obviously, the fry managed to survive. And
what I find really interesting about the loach's breeding, Mark, is that with a lot of them, they're very, very dissimilar to the adults for some time. What were the fry of the weather loach like when they'd first hatched, or for the first few weeks? Were they still quite a long fish?
I think even straight away you could see they were quite long. I mean, same as the coolie loaches. Even from hatching, they are still quite a long fry. So obviously you could distinguish them quite easily.
Okay. They're beasts, cool. By the way. They're beasts. They are really huge.
if anyone's ever interested and they want to freeze frame and zoom on that, I've actually got a recipe for dojo nabe, which is the Japanese recipe.
Hold on. Hold that there, Nathan.
You bring me up.
I'm bringing you up.
You're making everyone go away. So freeze frame on that, and you can see a recipe for dojo nabe, how to eat them as the Japanese do. Oh, is it me? Oh,
It's only you,
go
I'm
back.
afraid.
Oh, I was just about to unzip as well.
Can we just talk about species of weather loach? Because
Yes.
Are the different patterns different species? Are we all recognizing or naming them incorrectly, the ones that arrive in the UK from places like Singapore? What do you know, Mark?
Pretty much, if they arrive in the UK, they are pretty much Misgurnis anguilla caudatus. When I first put this picture on, somebody actually did say that there was possibly these were possibly hybrids.
Right, yeah.
Fry, because the one at the back is the female, and she has more of a rounded face. So a couple of people said that there could be Paramisgurnis dabrinus.
Is that the one that looks like a mouldy banana? Bright yellow?
No, that's just another colour form,
right? Okay.
Basically, and then you've obviously got Misgurnis facilis, which I think I've only ever seen a couple of times in this country.
They're banned, aren't they? We can't get them here.
Yeah, it's Ilford list is a big no-no.
I did used to know a pond that had them in.
Really?
Yeah.
And unfortunately, before I could get some out, they basically filled it in and built a housing estate on top of it.
Oh, that's a shame. Are they European species, facilis?
Yeah. I know quite a few. I know a couple of lads in Germany, I think it was, that used to spawn them. And the only way they could spawn them was to actually be subjected to really cold temperatures. So they actually used to keep them in the fruit drawer in the fridge over winter.
Wow.
And then as soon as it started warming up, bring them out, and the massive temperature rise would get them to spawn.
That's brilliant, is that?
That reminds me of the old days of Neil Hardy Aquatica, when you used to go down there and go, "Can I have a lungfish, please?" And they'd open a drawer. Do you remember that, Nate?
Yes, I do.
They used to keep lungfish in drawers. It was brilliant.
Yeah,
just like the ones that you'd have at school in like primary school.
That's brilliant, is that? Yeah. With or without water?
Pretty much without, I think. Yeah.
Wow.
But speaking of which,
they're just wet.
In the first aquatic shop I ever worked in, they used to have relics of old undergravel filters in ponds, and there was one emptied pond, and my first job was to dig out this massive great undergravel filter, and there was no pond water in it, it was just sludge, and in it were weather loach. It's almost like they were kind of estivating, or at least surviving, just in the sludge, and they were massive as well. So, yeah.
There we go. I've kept 2 overwintering in an outside tank, and the surface had frozen, and they were okay. John Loach has asked generic rules for breeding loaches. Well, John, do you have any kids? You could tell us, perhaps. Being as you're called John Loach.
Jesus Christ.
I'm only joking. Come on, generic tips for breeding loaches, Matt. What have you got?
Give them time. That is probably for... There's fish that I've tried and I've thought, right, this one should be fairly easy. And it's literally is a case of just time. If the more you mess about with the tank and stuff like that, the less likely it is to happen. So if you get them in a decent setup that is roughly right, just give them time. Just do your general maintenance and then just literally leave the fish to it. I think there's a couple of species. What we did used to have as Acanthocabitis zonal turnans.
Right, okay.
Steve renamed them Paracanthocabitis. And then they've been spawned by taking a male, taking a female, putting them in a tank, spawning them, taking them out, just raising the fry. And I think a couple of lads have done it with Suelia, where they've seen the male and female really going at it, lifted them out, put them in another tank, and they've continued spawning. But with majority of the species, I think if you move them, they'll just stop spawning.
Resettle. Yeah.
So they need to be settled in their environment and thinking, and that's when they'll just. And once they start, they tend to keep going. But it's literally just give them space and time.
Is temperature a factor in many loach species breeding?
Yeah, I try and keep my fish so the cooler species are at the bottom of the fish room, the warmer species are at the top of the fish room. So I mean, there's just the general fluctuation in that, and then obviously if I do a water change, it's cold water straight in the tanks. I've had Acanthica bitis. Oh, no, sorry, Paracanthica bitis boatia. I spawned them after giving them a water change in the middle of winter, and the water was absolutely ice cold. And the male just sat there and started almost shivering on the bottom. Yes, Stuart Mick Wright was the first one to do the Zoltans. And he just started shivering on the bottom and quivering and that. And I thought, I've killed the fish. He's gone too cold. And within 10 minutes, his fins were absolutely scarlet red.
Wow.
And he was getting the female in the bogwood and the spawned.
Oh, wow.
So literally the ice cold water did the trick. I just, I didn't particularly want to try it too many times, and I tried it the second time, and I did kill the female, I think it was. So,
oh, Christ.
It didn't work. So,
has anyone? No, that's the wrong one. Has anyone spawned Schistera pridei yet?
To my knowledge, no. The problem, I think, for the pridei or pridei, whichever you want to call it, I think it's the fact that they are so small. It's getting the eggs away from the adults. Because even if you put like a pea gravel or something like that in, once the eggs are in there, the adults will be in there eating all the eggs.
Yeah.
There is a guy on YouTube.
Mr. Pituitary.
Is it JG Fish Tanks?
No, I can't remember his name. And he's actually designed his own egg trap.
Okay.
And you know the little hang-on tanks that you get?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can run the airline in, it sucks the water in, it comes to the end and goes out. Well, this egg trap actually slots onto that. And what it does is, as the air's going up into there, he actually uses it. He puts the Java moss in there, and basically, as the CPDs lay their eggs, they go in and they get sucked straight up and into these boxes. And he's got these boxes on, and there's hundreds of them in there. I think something like that could Daku. That's it. Thank you. I think something like that would definitely work with the pridei.
Right, okay.
I was going to ask you about egg traps earlier when you mentioned the Sid the Monkine going up into the current. In saltwater fish breeding, they use a lot of egg traps now because the eggs go down the weir. Do you know what I mean? And they just kind of catch them in. So I wondered if that could be a bit of a trick. And like you said with the weather loach as well, how they kind of overflowed into the next bit.
Yeah.
Could that be?
Well, that's how I did the yo-yo loach, because I've been talking again with guys in India, and they said that the yo-yo loach adult yo-yo loach migrate upstream, lay the eggs, and the eggs are semi-buoyant. So they just literally go with the flow. So it was
Nate, that's right in your mic, that noise.
Is it? Let me get rid of it.
It was cat trying to get
it
the
is.
egg away from the adults. So obviously, if you have a weir or something, once the eggs get washed over there, that makes life easier.
Yeah, no, that's really cool. Something I spoke to a curator of a public aquarium once about British native fish, and they mentioned daylight hours being a factor. Now, with some of these your Asian species of loach, perhaps could that be an issue? Like a seasonal thing.
Yeah,
it's not
that's
just
an interesting
temperature.
part.
It could be. I mean, my old fish room, I spawned a few, but I had a little window at each end. With my new fish room, I've got a full glass door right in the middle. So basically, they get like full sunlight on the morning. So even if the lights are on, or like your lights aren't on, they get that full sunlight basically all day, the way the sun comes round. So it definitely probably would help, because they definitely know the difference in the longer days and things. Yeah.
Cool.
I like the idea of that full light on a fish house. I don't know if anybody in the comments or any of you have been to TA Aquaculture in Birmingham, but their fish house it's got like clear corrugated perspex as the roof.
It's skylight thing, yeah.
And the fish look amazing in there. The fish, they show colours that you just don't see because they get in sunlight, and they've got plants growing out of all the tanks that are just doing so well. And honestly, if I was going to build a fish house again, I think I'd have a clear roof, because it makes such huge difference to how the fish look. It's brilliant. So
it doesn't help if you've got black beard algae, though.
No, that's true.
As the sun gets on it, you end up going down the next morning, your tank's black and furry.
Mind you, because they've got plants growing out of every tank, I think they grow so well. They keep the nutrients down.
I suppose that's the issue with the UK, though, isn't it? The height of summer, we're getting like so 18 hours of sunlight. Maybe that's too much. Maybe you need some blinds or something. But it's super cool.
Yeah. Next picture. What's going on here, Mark? Tell us about this.
Yasuitake modesta. I mean, everybody's had at least one loach caught in a net.
Yes.
And I mean, for the size of the fish, these are pretty impressive. Impressive spines.
They're huge spines.
I think.
Do they have what's their proper name, Mark?
Subocular spines.
Okay, yeah.
So basically, as they come back in, they go back into they tuck back into a pouch directly under the eye. The Modesta has just one, like, complete. It's almost like a little tusk. But over the lots of the species, if you actually look at them, there are massive variations in the spines that they have. So some of the Leptobotia have a big top spine with a very small pointed, like almost like a little razor spine underneath. The Cinebotia have a very, very fine spine, and it's almost like a diabetic needle. It's that fine. And I've had a couple where it's gone in and literally they can pull it back while it's in your finger, and it's just like a massive deep paper cut. It stings. But then there's the Syncrosis, which don't have the big tusk, but they have like two small, like razor spines very close together. But the weird one is in the one of the biggest horseface loaches. The spine, as the first spine comes up like that, the second spine comes up like that. So anything that's trapped in there is basically stuck between the spines.
Ooh.
So it actually has the two that come up together. So if you get a net and it's gone over that spine, once that spine sticks up and the net's inside there, you ain't getting it out.
So what? I don't understand how that helps the fish in a survival situation. I mean, it must do, otherwise the fish wouldn't develop those spines.
Well, you say that, but what is the role of the spines? Is it primarily defense, or is it for sparring, or what?
I think personally, I think it's more sparring than defense.
Right, okay, yeah.
I've had people contact me and say, look, I've got this group of clown loaches, and I mean, they're all maybe 4 or 5 inches, but they're all literally scratched to pieces. And it's like, well, how many caves have you got? Oh, well, they all force their way into one cave. And if you watch them when they get in there, one will flick that spine, one will flick that spine. And as they're jostling for position, they're just literally like marking each other up all the time. And I think, especially with some of the bigger clowns, if you get one big clown that goes into a cave and another one comes in, basically that clown will just literally just put his spine out and like move it towards the other one, and the other one will move out of the way. they'll move out of the thing. So I think it is more just as more as a warning, or thinking rather than actual defensive, a defensive tool.
That's
Okay.
interesting. Yeah.
Either way.
Max, can you just show us the loach in our background, because that is ridiculous.
I actually don't know how to just show that.
Oh,
You had it then.
No. Well,
Is
the problem
is
is,
it in
hold
the-
on. I'm gonna have to remove everybody. I think.
Just get rid of us. Get rid of us.
We're all going.
Will people still be
gonna
able to hear us?
No, they won't be able to hear us.
Just leave me.
Oh, it's just me. There you go. You've seen the fish for long enough. You've all seen what it looks like. We should have had it as a media file and we could have brought it up. But
Hang on.
I didn't think ahead.
Max, let's just upload it. Let's get rid of the killie fish and let's upload it and have a look at that, because that is absolutely insane.
Yeah, it's Schistura disparizona.
I mean, it looks like AI.
Yeah.
It's a stunning fish. It really is.
Well, the guy whose picture that is, Matthew Tabor, he's been on Loaches online for Loach Fanatics, for a long time, and I decided to put it on today as the new banner fish on the group, and yeah, it's absolutely amazing. I think they were catching. Did he say they caught about 130, 140 of them?
There we go.
Look at that!
What a fish! I mean, great photo as well.
Get some more. But yeah, there's another one in amongst them photos. I think I might have it here.
Love that.
Is that its standard coloration, or is that spawning dress, or what?
No, that's pretty much standard.
What?
Holy heck!
Yeah.
Where's that from? It's go on, Nate.
I was going to say marketability, scores out of 10, everyone.
That's a solid 9.5.
10.
That's a solid 10, isn't it? You just sell that
I
all
think
day, every
it'll
day.
be one of them where basically, it'll be almost bring them in and just name your price, because people will pay.
It is a stunning fish. How big is it, Mark?
I think they're about 3-4 inch.
Right, okay, so it's not a giant fish, so it's manageable.
It's room to grow. I mean, it's very similar to
Valtita,
Homoloptura pitanini. It's like a brown body, but that has this absolutely massive red and yellow dorsal fin.
Yeah,
absolutely beautiful fish.
Yeah, it is a really, really stunning fish.
It's got that kind of chubby head, a bit like a bull head, hasn't it? It's got
it's
kind of almost goby-like.
Yeah, it's goby-like.
Yes.
If you didn't know better and you just saw the head and not the barbels, you could easily say
Yes.
Yes, exactly what I was thinking.
So, should we guess that it comes from a similar kind of hill streamy, small, shallow environment?
Yeah, going on what you said about the head.
Go on. What you got, Mark?
Hold on, let's bring Mark up.
I mean, when you look at the, hang on, I had it then. Come on. Technology. There. No. There. I mean, the chubby head on that. You can't see it. It's just got massive cheeks. No, it won't go on. But yeah, there were some of the other ones that they caught, and the really, really big fish.
Yeah, real. And look at what's going on, sort of like in the adipose fin region.
It's an adipose crest.
Right. Okay. Talk us through that. What's that about?
It's supposed to help with like holding in the floor.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, so hydrodynamic.
There's there's a couple of species that develop a dorsal crest, which basically leads up to the dorsal fin, and then there's a couple that actually have a pelvic crest? So it's underneath it basically does the same thing. Okay. But the bigger the male, they tend to be the bigger things. So whether it's
Bigger
something, so you can stand in that fast flow and display or what, I don't know.
Wow.
God,
Yeah,
I want
I like-
that fish.
it's
I'm
cool.
really
Like the-
feeling it for that.
Yeah.
Can we
It's like
talk
the
about-
keel
is
of a
that-
ship.
Is that an Inla cypress in the background there?
Could
Yeah,
be.
possibly.
And a Congo tetra, yeah.
And the Congo tetra, yeah. And there we go. Lovely fish. We like that one, don't we? Let's move on to the
Yes.
next picture. Where shall we go next? Let's go with this. Talk us through your fish house.
Dash Merlinholer.
Dash Merlinholer.
Yes. So yeah, this is from the view from my comfy seat. So yeah, I've just that's
I
that's
want
it,
a
really.
fish room like that.
It's
I
not.
want a
It's
fish
clean.
room like that.
It's quality. It's quality over
Oh,
quantity.
well,
I
yeah,
really
it
like
was
that.
clean. It was clean when that photo was taken.
But it's
probably
full
not
of
that clean, is
plants
it?
and it's probably warm and oh god,
It's-
that just makes me.
it doesn't look cramped either, which I like.
Oh.
Oh, it's like it is like a
Comfortable.
start. Well, the idea was because with my old shed, I ended up going round the outside with fish tanks,
Yeah.
and then I decided to put a couple in the middle, and then a couple more, and then some on the end of them, and it ended up where I had like 50 odd tanks in there, and I didn't even have space to sit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the idea with this one was it had to be more manageable, not as cluttered, and once I'd put tanks in, that was it. I couldn't put any more in, which I have, but that's by the by. So yeah, it was basically a case of it was planned to be what it was, and then obviously using all the existing tanks that I had rather than having to buy new. But yeah, I've got me sink in there, the drains in there, the main water's waiting to be put in. Yeah, and it's just really, really nice and cozy.
It looks great. I'm envious, and the Great British Fish House is becoming a rarity.
Yes,
Yep, they're dying off, unfortunately.
They are. I mean, God, we used to visit dozens and dozens of them when I worked on the magazine, and now you just get like an IKEA rack in someone's like living room or something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, exactly what you mean.
Yeah, it's evolved, hasn't it? It's no longer the fish house, just now the big showpiece, massive tank for TikTok views and Instagram likes.
Yeah.
It's changed. The landscape has changed.
No, that looks great, Mark. It's a credit to you, mate. It's I wish I had one.
That's
like
awesome.
Yeah, the thing with that as well is you can see obviously all the tanks are green, and basically I have guppy grass, ambulia, and a couple of other plants in there. But the main plant in all of them tanks is anubias. And it was a guy at the local shop. His dad was getting rid of his tank, and he brought all these massive anubias in. So I said, "Oh, I'll have some of them." So he gave me, I think it was 3 or 4 he gave me, and basically that whole fish room and my Sidney Munkai tank are all basically planted out with these 3 anubias that came from there.
Just spread and grown. Wow.
It grows like a triffid, and if I don't cut it back every 4 weeks, it starts pushing the lids open on the tanks.
Wow.
It's an absolute triffid. It's unreal.
Just back to Sid the Munkai for a minute. Are they getting thin on the ground in UK shops? Because I don't see as many as we used to.
Yeah, everything. Well, any that you see in the shops now. Well, any that you see in the shops now are supposed to be captive bred. You won't get any. Technically, you won't get any wild. I know 2 or 3 shops that have had wild fish in and promoted the fact that they had wild fish in, and they shouldn't have had wild fish in,
right?
Because it's illegal. But yeah, they're all basically farm bred now. So I think it's a case of, I don't know whether it's seasonal or whether it's just a case of the breed them as and when. And if there's something else that's selling well, they'll sell them, and then the SIDS will come back in occasionally. But yeah, you certainly don't see them anywhere near as often as you used to.
I think price point is a factor there as well, though, because they are still a damned expensive fish. And if you're going to do them right, you do need a little group. And
Yeah.
Not many people want to fork out like 80 quid for a small clutch of, albeit very, very attractive loaches.
Yeah.
It's a big ask.
They're my favourite loach by far.
Love them.
And when I was showing, I actually had one, and basically I got a couple of best in shows with him, and he went into Supreme Champions and things like that. But this fish was probably getting on for 2¼ inch, something like that. And he must have been about ½ inch deep in body. And
Crikey.
this fish basically ruled a 4-foot tank that contained two gold severums. And he harassed the hell out of the severums. Wow. They hated him. And I used to think, this is just the way they are. They're an obnoxious, nasty fish. But when you get a group of them and you actually see them acting, in a bonded group, it's a totally different thing, and they just don't bother anything in the tank. But the one I used to have that I showed, Jesus, it was evil. It was horrible fish.
So Stephen Grant said, I haven't seen Nigro lineator for ages. Now, Nigro lineator is so similar to Sydney Monkey, right?
Yeah.
It's a different pattern. Is it, in terms of care and breeding, does it differ?
No. I've bred both, and they've bred in the same conditions.
So deep tank.
Yeah.
Just back onto that
nasty loach thing.
Yeah.
Is there a way of taming some of these nasty species, or
like for instance this one?
There it is.
Yes. The Splendida. Beautiful.
Oh, Splendida, sorry. Yes.
Yeah. The way to keep these is with other obnoxious loaches. So if you keep these with the likes of
syncrosis species and stuff,
you put these in. I had these in a tank, a 3-foot tank on their own, no problem. I can't even remember what it was, but I put this something in there as a dither fish, and literally they ripped the scales off every fish overnight. And
Christ.
when they first came, these were actually the first ones ever to come into the UK, and they came into Pier Aquatics. And Neil had put them in a tank with red swordtails. And he came in next morning, and basically the bottom of the tank would look like it had red gravel in. And all the red
just scaled.
White. And they are nasty, but when I put pearl danios in, which they naturally encounter in the wild, they never bothered them. They just never bothered them at all.
Is there a degree of the danios faster swimming fish and maybe a little bit smaller and less of a target?
If they go for them, the danios all go into a shoal, so there's less of a, they can't pick one out, and they're faster and everything, and they just tend not to bother them because they're a bit bolder as well.
Yeah. Could there also be a degree of they actually do this in the wild? We've talked previously about fin eaters, scale eaters, body slime eaters.
I've got a really interesting anecdote here, and it's not loaches, but it relates back to this. So when I was working in the trade, I remember we had a tank full of Exodon paradoxus, the bucktooth tetras, which are by nature a lepidophage, so they nick the scales and bits of fins and eyes off other fish. They don't really kill the fish. Now, what was really interesting is the tank next to him was full of fork-tail rainbows. It was, who's that? Telmatharina, not Telmatharina.
Eratharina
werneri. That's exactly the one. There was a tank full of them, and a couple got into the tank with the Exodon, and the Exodon, you would think, would just gobble them up, right? They were bite-sized, small fish that not interested at all.
Oh, okay.
Me and Andy Rushworth did this a while ago because we got one of the local shops got in what they thought was a Crossachelius, and it was actually
it was that beast.
It was a Lobochelius, I think it was, which are actually a scale eater.
Yeah.
If you put them in with any fish bigger than themselves,
so just do them in.
They'll just rip the scales off. Yeah. Put them in with smaller fish, they just don't touch them.
Yeah.
It's not worth it because basically, if they start ripping scales off small fish, the small fish are going to die, and there's no
Not only that, but
it's not
only that,
sustainable.
it's harder to catch a small fish, right?
Yeah.
It's a smaller target. The fish is more bothered about getting away. But if you're one of these lepidophags, you can swim up to a big fish, and the big fish thinks, whatever, is a small fish, and then you go, ow!
I put my
scale.
I put the Lobachelius at first in with my big Dorkinsia, and they absolutely stripped them.
Yeah,
put them in a tank with little golden barbs and a couple of Synodontis. I'm quite happy. Never bothered them.
Wow.
It's really interesting. It's really, really interesting. Is that?
I used to have skunk balls here, the Molettis.
Yeah.
And they just had a complete penchant for eyes. Anywhere I put them, they just have eyes out of fish. Notorious eye eaters. Yeah, they were a nightmare. They ended up.
I got Cinnabotia revisi a couple of years ago, and I've had quite a few of the Cinnabotias, and they're absolutely fine. I got the revisi, and I put them in a tank with a shoal of Danicornis rasparas. And literally the next morning I went out and not one Danicornis raspara had an eye left.
Wow. Yeah, they just seem to love eyes.
Weird.
Yeah, that's scary.
Yeah, that's what I had. That's what I had with my skunks. They ended up in a convict tank, and they did exactly the same there. They just literally, I came down, and I'm like, half my convicts have got eyes missing already. They've just gone overnight.
If you'd have put them skunks in with probably in a bigger tank with like the Splendida, Modesta, stuff like that, that'd have been absolutely fine. Yeah. And even with giant Danios, they just tend not to bother them because they're just a bit too big and just.
Okay.
I've formulated a theory. Is it plausible that the Chinese government are releasing these loaches into the caves, and that's why all these blind fish are coming out? And it's all a big conspiracy.
Ask Donald.
It's possible,
Donald will know.
I think we'll ask Donald, and we'll get an update for the next episode. There we go. Featherfin Films. I made the mistake of keeping a single Hello D's once.
Oh yeah.
Probably, yeah. Synchro.
Yes.
That's Syncrosis, right? Is that Syncrosis,
Yes.
Mark? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember we had a tank of them when I worked at Maidenhead at Bolton, and they just ended up in the sump. They were just no Christ.
Terrors.
I had a female Hymenophysa, and when I moved to this one, I had 4 or 5, and then I lost 3 or 4 on the journey over, and this one female Hymenophysa was on her own with the Splendida, the Modesta, a couple of big Poropuntius barbs, and something else. And I think in the space of a week, she wiped out the tank. And she was the only fish left in the tank. So I sold her to somebody who had Oscars, and he said, "Oh, my Oscars are horrible." I said, "Here, have this." And give him.
Yeah.
He didn't speak to me afterwards, so I don't know what happened.
Oh dear. And then we've got one more picture that you've asked us to put up, and this one's a little bit closer to home, right?
Yes.
Who's this?
Can I guess?
Yes.
No. Yeah, go on.
Is it the British native loach? Is it the second loach species that's in the UK?
No.
Oh,
It's the same genus, though. Is it the
Same
same genus?
Cobatis. I think the British one's Cobatis tenia, something like that.
This is Peludica, and it actually comes from Spain.
Wow.
And if you remember Matt Ford, who used to do Seriously Fish, and they were doing all the collecting of and conservation for the Aphaenus killifish.
Yes.
And basically they came across these, and I managed to get a group of 10 adults, and I think I got them in the March, and by the September I think I had about 50, 60 in the tank. And I started sharing them around a few of the other lads. They just spawn so easily, it's unreal.
Yeah.
All you've got to give them is food and water, and that is literally it.
That seems easy. Have you ever tried with Barbatula?
Done them, yep.
Stone loach? You've done them?
Yes. I've actually, you know what? I was actually going to include that picture as well.
Yeah.
Really?
I've actually got a picture of it. It's the same as this, an adult in the fry. I spawned them quite a few years ago in a 5-foot tank in the garden.
Yeah,
I spent many an afternoon in my childhood catching stone loaches.
Oh, they're brilliant,
bullheads
aren't
and
they?
minnows. Yeah.
we've got a lovely patch. What I found really interesting. This is one of the only places where I've been able to really watch fish in nature. We've got a nice little river down the road from us, and it's full of stone loach, bullhead stone loach, dace, grayling, trout, barbel. All it's absolutely fantastic. It's one little stretch, the amount of species in there. But what's really interesting is the adult stone loach live on gravel, but the fry, larvae up to sort of fry live on sandbeds, and you can see them dotting about on the sandbeds, which is really, really fascinating to watch. And over, like, when it's really warm in summer, you can see so many fry just dotting about, and I find that fascinating. I do it every year. I go down and check them out.
Yeah, I love it.
But yeah, brilliant fish, the little stone loaches.
Yeah, I think the key to barbitula, though, is keeping them cold.
I was going to ask that.
Yeah, I can imagine so.
I used to have a fan, a box on the end of the tank with a desk fan in, and it was just literally constantly blasting against the surface of the water to keep it cool in the summer. And then I just connected up to a hose pipe and just had fresh ice cold water running through. But yeah, they're just they're another one where they just spawned, and then basically the fry just were in amongst the rocks, and just spotted the fry after after a few weeks.
I like that. I like that a lot. Where the cabitis that we've got in this country, it's got quite a limited range, I think.
It has now, yeah. I think it was a lot more widespread than it is. But I think, if memory serves me right, they're both illegal to catch now as well.
Really?
Okay.
It's actually illegal to collect them now.
Send me to prison.
I collected my second loach species, the Tenia, in a fen and drain in Peterborough. And I'm originally from Hereford, and there aren't any there at all. So I'm guessing. No, I'm guessing they're east. Nath, have you seen any anywhere?
Only in the fens again. Only over in Peterborough.
Yeah. Oh wow. Okay.
We've got a couple of rivers close to us that have got barbitula in. But cabitis, I haven't seen cabitis anywhere up here.
If anybody in the comments knows where cabitis are in this country, don't tell Nathan, because he's going to go and slurp them all.
Collect and sell them. No, I bred these. They're not well caught.
Oh yeah, right, okay, yeah, of course. Well, has anybody got any questions for Mark before we get into the quiz? Surely there's got to be some more questions. We've got an oracle of loach husbandry and care. Ask him anything about loaches. Lord of the loaches.
Are there any picks we haven't seen?
We've gone through all the picks, I believe.
Well, I got really easy lowballers. Mark, what was the first loach you kept? What got you into loaches?
Tfwn.
Really?
Good choice.
Yeah.
You were obviously a rich kid then, Mark.
No, basically, my mum and dad were were keeping fish before me. They got me into it, and obviously they were going to the shows as well, showing fish. And we had one local shop that used to just every now and then he'd just get in single Tfwn. And however he did it, I don't know, but they used to come in decent size, and we used to just go in. It was literally, at that time, Christ, there were a couple of quid a piece. You could pick them up from
Crikey, no way.
So yeah, I sort of always had Tfwn.
Tim Smith, Afronemachilus, have these been seen in the hobby?
Not one I've come across.
No, that's one to find then.
What's on your wish list, Mark? What's on your bucket list? Oh, there you go. Same question.
The Disparizona is definitely on there.
That makes sense.
As well as Homotula, Potanini. There's a couple of hill streams I'd like to work with.
The red ones and that sort of thing.
Yes, like the Catabensis. But I think one of the ones I'd really like to keep is a couple of the Parabotia species. Kinyangensis, I think it is. I'd really like to keep them. But at the moment, I'm working with I've got a Leptobotia there, and Micronematochilius that I'm working with at the moment. So I haven't really got space for any more at the moment.
There's a question for you. Have gongotas been spawned? That's the moose-faced loach, right?
Not to my knowledge. I don't think any. I think there's only a couple of people managed to keep them long enough to even get there.
They were tricky. Are they the Indian fish? We used to get.
It used to be Cantophorus. It's something else now, isn't it?
Yes.
I don't know what it is now.
Very
It was
difficult
Cantophorus.
species.
Yeah. Mark, I've got a question for you. Well, it's not so much a question, but it's rather more of a remark. I remember one of the first times that we met, and this little nugget of information sort of always stuck with me with fish keeping. You told me that back in the day when I think it was your dad that got you into fish keeping, right?
Yeah.
And one of the things you said to me is that your dad used to feed the fish so much live food that they had to eat to be able to swim.
Yes.
And I've always gone with that, and I suppose that's got me to where I am now, selling live food.
I mean, I think that was more.
Are we pitching our own businesses now? Are we?
Yeah.
Oh, Nathan, right?
Well done,
Oh, right. Let's all get stuck in.
No, Nathan, we're not talking about your prostitution. Carry on, Mark. Sorry.
Yeah, I think that was more because obviously then we were showing, so it was a case of get your fish, get it grown quick, and get it on the bench. And yeah, I mean, my dad. I mean, obviously since then, I mean, there was one Madagascan rainbow back in them days. Now it's been split up. There's quite a few species now.
Yeah.
But I think he had Madagascan rainbows up to about 6 inch, 6.5 inch.
Wow.
Well,
and they were absolutely massive with like big salmon, like the big hook jaw that a salmon gets,
Wow.
And they used to go collect. I mean, they nearly got killed by bulls a few times, or farmers and shotguns a few times. But it was a case to get the bucket, put about that much water in the bucket, and then fill it up to there with Daphnia, and then come home,
just throw it at the fish,
pour it in the tank, and basically the fish, if they didn't eat, then they couldn't move. Basically,
wow.
I love that. I absolutely love that.
They had to eat to live.
Somileptes, not Cantophorus, so the moose-faced loaches.
Oh yeah, that rings a bell.
Gongota.
Yeah.
There was another question that I saw. Have you spawned any Leptobotia?
No. I'm currently working with Bellacorda.
How big's that, Mark? Is it a big one?
Bellacorda? No, it's probably maxes out at about 4 inch.
What's the big one? Is that Elongata?
Elongata, yeah. And then there's Pellegrini, which is a bit smaller, and then down to the likes of Changai and Bellacorda, Taniops. Yeah.
What's your experience with Elongata? Because it's always been a bit of a myth, not a myth, like a.
I know what you mean.
Some shops were meant to have had them, and I've gone there and they weren't there, or they were hiding. I've never actually seen one. I've seen PFK always had a Max Gibbs picture of one, and it was amazing. It was literally gold with stripes and his huge head.
Last year, Wharf. I know. Last year they had them in. Wharf had 2 in.
They come in 1s and 2s, right? I remember going into Hardy's and they only had 1.
Yeah, I think they were about 11 inch, 10, 11 inch, something like that in Wharf. I got 3. I lost 1 on the journey home. And then the other 2 did well for about 7 or 8 months. And then they literally just wasted away, and I couldn't do anything about it. And I think it was the fact that I was keeping them slightly too warm. I think they can tolerate the warmer water over a short period, but not too long, because obviously it just raises the metabolism and that. So you've got to keep them in cooler temperatures. I know a couple of people in America that have done well with them. Stan Sung and a couple of others. They used to have some really nice ones. But I think if I had the space to get one of the big species, I wouldn't get elongator. I'd go for the Triplophysa, because the Triplophysa are just like a proper predator. They're just huge, and they're absolutely beautiful fish.
It's quite interesting that loaches are one group of fish that probably haven't developed into predators like most other groups of fish have done.
No,
if that makes sense. I mean, look at any other group of fish, there's out and out predators, there's big snappy creatures.
Yeah.
but with loaches less so. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I think your triplophisa and your Leptoboschia elongata are probably if there was going to be an apex predator among all the loaches, that's them.
Yeah.
But I know people that have had elongata and literally kept them in a tank full of fish, and they've never bothered the fish, and they've only ate worms.
Yeah.
I've known another person that put one in a tank and basically ate literally anything that moved, and the same thing with the triplophisa. So yeah, not total out and out predators. It literally comes down to the fish. But yeah, overall over the whole family, they're all pretty mild mannered, to be honest. It's just how you keep them, and just comes back to the husbandry and everything.
Do you worm your loaches, Mark?
Yes, if I get wild fish in, I usually use flubanol.
Yeah.
Or levimisole, whichever.
Nathan likes that.
I love Lefamisol, yeah. That's the good stuff.
Good stuff. I got speaking to a local vet, and as long as I told him how to use it, the doses and things like that, he was happy to provide me with it. So
did you get it in the big bladder pack that does something like 200 million liters of water?
Yeah,
it just lasts forever.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, that's the best stuff. It looks like Mountain Dew.
Well, I thought
it's more yellow.
But there you go.
Yeah, that's probably right. Any more questions before we get into the coveted quiz?
Quiz.
I think it's quiz time.
It's quiz.
I think it's quiz time.
Run the in.
Quiz, guess what it is? Fish quiz, that's what it is. Fish quiz, guess what it is? Fish quiz, that's what it is. Fish quiz.
Come on,
God, that's beautiful.
Nathan, this is the only thing I've been worried about.
You've got to topple Nathan. This is it.
Not happening.
My money is on
remember,
you, Mark. Come on.
My money's on Nathan.
Remember, you can download the Fish Quiz intro on Spotify. If you haven't done already, Nathan's going to cry.
Cool.
You can't actually, but I wish we could, because I'd just play that on repeat. Right, who's doing the timer this week? Jeremy, are you doing the timer?
Sorry, I'm timer man. Bear with. Here we go.
These had better not be low ball questions. I'm going to be so annoyed.
How many fishes are there?
Mark, name a loach. Name another loach. Name another loach.
I still get stuck after a while.
Okay, everyone.
Right,
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Name a South American catfish.
Click this.
Microsorum pteropus is better known as...
Pass.
Which loach shares a taxonomic name with the genus of Baddis?
No. Pass, sorry.
In what country is Lake Maracaibo?
Zambia.
What is the technical term for a fish which likes fast-flowing water?
Realific.
In diseases, Ichthyophthiurus may be known as...
Oh dear God, this is terrible. Pass. Our blast.
Clown, reticulated, and African brown are all types of...
Stop.
Ooh.
Oh my God.
It's hard, isn't it? It's
Mark,
hard.
I can tell you that you've not gone
blaming
into
the
first
man
place.
What was that?
I can tell you you've not gone into first place.
Oh, there's a surprise.
Max makes up the scores anyway.
Is it close? Is it going to be close to second?
It's going to be close to second, given three people
third.
taken.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, that is a shame.
Name a
He
South
also
American...
slipped up. He slipped up with one of his questions there, and I'm gonna pick him up on this.
Right, okay.
No, you do yours. I'll pick you up at my leisure when I'm ready, you little bitch.
Max's world.
Hold on a minute. I'm just going to go through the answers in 2 seconds.
Why? What's the?
There we go. Right. So, name a South American catfish. You went with Calicthes. I like that. It's
What a
good,
great
strong,
catfish.
a brilliant start, Mark. Probably the best
And it
start we've
went
had.
downhill from there. Yeah, I know.
No,
I would
it
say if
was
we did
really
a
strong
a separate table with how well each person started, you'd be in a solid first place.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Microsorum pteropus is better known as.
It's a plant, isn't it? Is it a plant?
It is a plant.
Go on, Nathan.
I'm picking you up on this little bitch. It's it was revised. It's not Microsorum anymore.
But that's not the question.
That makes no odds.
But what's it better known as, Nathan?
Well, it's Leptochilus now. Is the actual scientific? It's the genus name.
It is. Yeah, I knew that. It was somewhere.
But you didn't ask it. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
But regardless,
it's Java fern.
Java fern.
Leptochilus.
This is a good look. Come on, Mark. I tailored this.
He'd have got that if we said Leptochilus. He'd have got that.
The right name, I'd have got it, Max. You know.
So that's another point.
No, well, I'm gonna do you again, Nathan, and you're gonna get less than 7. You're gonna
Nathan,
go.
I'm getting 3 goes at this.
Which loach shares a taxonomic name with a genus of Baddis?
Baddis. Oh, God,
What do you know? What the taxonomic name for a scarlet Baddis is?
Not off the top of my head.
It's Dario.
Oh, of course, bullshit, Dario. No?
Yeah.
Steve Grant's going to be sat there at home now. He's like,
he's gonna be horribly smug. I wouldn't. Talk to
he's
that
going to be very smug. I
wouldn't talk to him for a few months. You'll get a message. I'll get a message. He'll be smug at me somehow.
I think you've misled him though, Max, because it's actually the specific name, isn't it? It is a taxonomic name, but you have a generic and a specific name.
I guess so, but I wanted to just open it up. Fair enough. I'll take that.
I reckon I've been had here.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah, you have totally.
Me again.
Yeah.
Max has rigged this completely against you. This is bang out of order, Max.
Making it
I say we throw him off the podcast.
We may as well get Nathan's cat to ask the question.
He's all embarrassed now. Look, he's all embarrassed now. Look.
All right,
he's out of his depth now, boys. He's a boy.
You get the beauty on, and that's it. Look, he's you know.
All right, okay. Let's put this.
What's your next question, then, Charles?
Shrinking in his chair.
Let me just go.
Go on,
in what country is Lake Maracaibo? It's not Zambia. It's a good guess.
It's
Venezuela.
Venezuela.
What is the technical term for a fish which likes fast flowing water? You got that right. It's rheophilic, so that puts you on 2.
Oh yeah.
In diseases, Ichthyophthirius may be known as its white spot or itch.
No, I don't do disease. I don't get them.
No, there you go.
Well,
that's a powerful answer. That is a powerful answer.
You know those clown loach we covered earlier? I've bred them.
Yeah, well, I've bred white spot, so
yeah.
Good
I've got albino longfin ones.
I know.
Yeah.
And then the last question was
balloon.
Clown reticulated and African brown are all types of. Can either of you get this before you sit there on your high horses looking down on Mark? I want one of you two to get it right.
Is it Rasbora?
No.
Knife fish.
Is it
Yes.
Yeah.
It is knife fish. I would have accepted knife fish, notopterid, or featherfin.
You can put that onto my score. Put it onto my score.
No,
you can't.
Right. Here's a question for the comments. Everybody's saying it's rigged. Everybody's kicking off.
It is.
Yep. It is.
Thank you, everybody.
I have got some more questions.
When we've got 1 million subscribers, we're going to get investigated over this.
Should we give Mark another chance?
No, not now. You're all right. I don't want you to ask me like, what is a good beat? No, you're all right. Fine. I'll take my score.
So you're happy to stick with 2 rather than go for more?
What, you got 2 right?
He got 2 points. I think that's not. I don't think that's an accurate representation of Mark's knowledge at all.
Well, I'm blaming the man flu anyway. I've been ill all week.
There's an option here to go for a round 2, Mark.
And I'm
if you want.
sober as well, so
And
that's
you speak
bad.
German.
Yeah, and German. If we'd have done it in German, you'd have been fine.
Yeah, Aufwatch.
Yeah.
Shrek stuff.
Panzer Wells.
Krankenwagen.
I'll come on again.
Obersturmgruppenführer.
Next time. But can the question
Right,
make
international
sure his
listeners.
questions are correct next time? That's all I'm asking.
The questions were correct.
Well,
It's
work
just
with it.
Nathan's facetiousness.
They're never correct.
Yeah, but you were wrong, weren't you?
Oh, come on.
Leptochilus. Oh my god.
That's embarrassed. You were wrong.
Yeah.
I'm loving this.
1998 wants its questions back, Max. Jesus. Were you even alive in 98? You weren't even alive in 98, were
I
you?
was alive for a small section of 98.
Yeah, the worst part.
The last 8 months of it.
The crap bit.
Yeah. Well,
98.
Mark,
God.
I'm certain somebody's going to score less than you. I'm absolutely certain of that.
I doubt it.
Oh, we've got to do Max's questions yet. Don't you worry about that.
You do it, Max.
Yeah,
Right.
we've got Max's to do. He'll score 0, I guarantee.
Here's the thing. Next week, we don't have a guest on. It's just the 3 of us talking fish ethics.
Oh, ethics.
It's an ethics,
Well,
it's an ethics episode next week.
Don't keep fish. Don't keep fish.
Yeah, everybody.
Don't live.
Don't stop breathing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Don't consume anything.
That's a chance for you two to compile questions for me.
Oh, you're getting brutalized.
But come on, listen, Nathan. Listen now. I curated a section of questions I knew you could do okay at, and you.
Yeah, and I'm not going to do the same to you.
Right. Max, we're going to use words you've
Get
never
brutalized.
even dreamt of.
Yeah.
Like what?
I'd start researching chemo autotrophs if I was you, Max.
Yeah.
Very, very in depth. Make sure you know them inside and out.
I already know them.
I
know everything about them. I bred them.
Okay.
We'll also be asking the questions entirely in Latin.
No, I can do that. I can do that. Hold on. I studied Latin in GCSE.
Of course.
German it is then.
You went to the same school as like Prince William. So yes, you did.
More like Prince Andrew.
Oh.
Yeah, he used to turn up quite often actually.
Yeah.
He should give me a lift home. Oh dear. Well, yeah, Mark. Look.
We've broken Max.
You managed a solid score of 2.
Excellent.
And it is going to go on the leaderboard. I'm going to put that on now, and I'm going to preemptively place it where I think you're going to end up.
What, under his belt, probably?
I want to see where this is going. Don't you dare put it on his ankle.
That's a little man as well, so you're very low down there, Mark.
I think that's where we're going to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Could be worse.
But, Mark, look. The main thing is you've got to remember it's room for improvement, and that's positive.
Well, yes.
You've learned.
Yeah, it means you've got to come back on now as well, mate.
Yeah, we'll have to get you on at some point. Once the books are out, you can come and give us a plug and give it another go. We'll have a few more. There we go. Look at that. Prince Andrew joke was unexpected. Was it really? Is anything unexpected on here?
I was surprised it took that long. Really,
we're allowed to.
Yeah, he's one of us.
Last night. So I've lost my train of thought now.
He's just thinking about islands now.
No, it's the PTSD
away.
Prince Andrew. Yeah, we went on a school residential there actually once.
Told you.
We didn't all come out.
It's all coming out now.
We didn't all come back, and those that didn't come back the same.
And
went on that special plane.
It's a scary time. I want Malawi editing because one of its rivers flows into the Zambezi. That really kept him up for a couple of days. he couldn't deal with that whole Zambia
I
thing.
thought that as well, actually. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but the Zambezi does not flow through Zambia, and that's through wherever he said. I can't even remember what he said. Malawi, yeah. So,
Croydon.
just for the people that haven't heard at the beginning, we are giving away Mark's giving away 2 of his Loach books. If you left a comment on today's stream, you've still got a couple of minutes left before we wrap things up. Leave a comment to be in with a chance of winning those books. If you pay Mark an extra £10, he won't sign them for you. And I'm just joking.
Not impressed.
What?
But no, seriously, this is a chance to get all. Are these the last 2 you've got available as well, Mark? Because you're going with.
I think I have three copies of each book, and that's all.
Okay, so
until my new stock arrives.
if you don't win and you would like a couple of these books, which are brilliant, I've got them at home. I read them every single night without fail. Then
do you say what you're saying? They put you to sleep.
No, I read them in the morning to wake up. It invigorates me. It gets me ready for the day.
Every night, you said.
I meant morning. So, if you are wanting a book on loaches, and they are brilliant books, all jokes aside, do contact Mark, and he can sort you out with that. Mark, tell us, just quickly go over what's happening with the new run of books as well.
I've basically managed to find a printer that's going to print. The first print run's going to be 100 of each book. And I've been in touch with a guy who wants to sell them in Australia. So he's basically going to be buying some. And then as soon as it's sorted out, the new Pangeo book will be getting printed.
So it'll be a whole book on Pangeo. That's exciting.
That'll be out for sale. Yeah.
I bet there's one hell of a void of loaches in Australia. They're probably not allowed to import any, and there aren't any native ones.
They're allowed to import a few, but it's very, very limited. I know they can get clown loach, yo-yo loach, and a couple of shisturas. I think there's not many that can get.
Yeah, it'll be limited for sure. So remember, if you don't win this week, and the chances are you won't, because we did have 328,000 live viewers today.
Is that all?
It's not as good as last week.
Oh, no.
People wanted to laugh at Steve Grant, the way that he looks. So if you don't win the book this week, then please do get in touch with Mark, because those books really are brilliant.
I can get in touch with you through the website or the Facebook group. Loach
through the website. Yeah, go on. Tell us about your website and your Facebook group.
Go on, give us a plug.
Facebook group is Loach Fanatics, and there's also loachfanatics.com. Takes you straight to the Loach Association website, where you can buy the books once they're available.
Cool,
lovely.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Mark. Really appreciate that.
No
next week. No, it's absolutely brilliant. Look at that. You're even getting a plug from your wife.
How
that's lovely.
That's because you were picking on me, Max. So,
fully.
So next week we've no guest, but that doesn't mean it's going to be rubbish. It's ethics. Me, Nathan, and Jeremy. We're talking ethics.
We are going to go deep.
We're going to go deeper than Prince Andrew went into me on that school trip. It's going to be absolutely fantastic.
That's it, boys. We're off to prison. That's it. We're all at Mark. Say goodbye to your wife. It's 20 years after this. We're all going down, and it's all thanks to Max.
Oh, sorry, I shouldn't have let that one out.
Ethics.
It gets to this point every week where something just happens. What was it like? I don't know. Nathan said something last week. It always goes downhill. What are we doing? Ethics next week. We'll see you all there. If you're not there, we're going to tell Prince Andrew where you live if you're young enough. And it's that simple. Thank you for watching. And Mark, thank you so much for coming on.
It was a pleasure.
Cheers.
Thank you, Mark.
Thanks for being a good sport.
Yeah, you've been brilliant, and you've taught us all a hell of a lot. So we really, really appreciate that. I've learned loads today. I've learned more than I have on the other ones. So that's been brilliant.
Well, what is it to learn about Corridorus, really? I mean,
exactly, they're all the same.
Yeah,
they're just different.
Poor
colours.
man's loaches, I call them.
Well, yeah,
I've been saying that for years.
Poor man's short-bodied balloon loaches.
Loaches are the next big thing, you say.
They don't.
Like
Cornies
garlic
don't.
bread.
They don't even suck onto the glass.
Yeah,
just rubbish, aren't they?
We do love fish that can suck. On that note, I think we'll end it. See you later, guys.
Goodbye, all.
Don't forget to watch the outro because Tom made that for us and he'll get really upset if you don't watch it.
Yeah, it's awesome. Thanks, Tom. Cheers. Bye.
If you left before the outro ended, then you're getting banned on the next one.
Good.
You've got to end the